we will start. Let me then start with the presentation as always. Oh no, I'm doing from beginning. Well, welcome to our audience. It's another webinar day. We are on a roll. Every day at 4:30, AUIS is featuring different academic departments. And today we're very excited to continue doing that tradition. We have 5 more webinars left. And I just need to see why my screens are not moving. So just very briefly about AUIS, the American University of Iraq Soleimani. We are very proud to be accredited both in Iraq and Kurdistan and to offer the quality education to our students. So the webinar series started with the goal of featuring each department in order to help you learn more from the department faculty, students, as well as alumni, because then these are the authentic voices that can give you the most up-to-date information and also answer any questions you might have. So today is all about our Department of Engineering, and we have a lot of panelists, so a lot of information will be shared. And I do want to remind our audience, both who are watching us, who are on Zoom, and those who are watching us live on Facebook, that if you have any questions, please feel free to type them in the comments section in the Q&A box on Zoom. And after all our presentations, we'll be more than glad to answer your questions live. So today I want to thank our faculty members, so Dr. Nathan, the department chair, and his colleagues, Dr. Aram and Dr. Ali, for being with us and being ready to present the different programs that fall under the umbrella of the Department of Engineering. We also have students, we also have alumni, so it will be a very engaging educational session, and as I said, we do welcome your questions. So Dr. Nathan, I'll give the floor to you, and you can start with telling our audience what the Department of Engineering is all about.
Thank you, and welcome. Let me turn my audio a little bit down. Yeah, so I'm going to explain some things about the engineering department, but first a little bit about myself. I come from the United States. My state is in about the middle of the United States. It's called Missouri, and it's a privilege and an honor to be here in Iraq and specifically here in Sulaymaniyah. And I take pride and take pleasure in knowing that here I can make a difference in the lives of our engineering students. So I'm privileged to be joined by my colleagues here and our fellow faculty members, Dr. Adam and Dr. Ali. So they're part of the faculty of the engineering department, and we have additional faculty, most who are, all of them who are experts in their fields. I can confidently say that I think we have outstanding faculty here at AUIS. As you can see, I'm not at home. I'm in one of our cool labs here at AUIS. Let me move the camera so you know that this is actually a live image here. So these are some of our 3D printers. This is one of our multiple laboratories where we do material prototyping and testing in this laboratory. Here as well in this laboratory, I'm right here in the vicinity of some other test equipment, tensile testing, hardness testing. This is important for manufacturing, for processing, for us when we make parts, that we know they're going to fit properly. We know that the gears, for example, are going to mesh together. They're going to make the component that we want to make, and that the material properties are going to be adequate. So let's take a step back. Let's talk about engineering at AUIS. Our focus at AUIS in the engineering department is to offer you a quality, comprehensive education. By quality, what do we mean? We're not here to push a bunch of formulas into the student's head and then bring you into a test and make you spit those formulas back out on a test and just put numbers in it. That's not our goal. Our goal in terms of quality is to give you the principles and to teach you how to think as an engineer, so that when you face a situation in the future that you've never faced before, which is what's happening in the world. The world is changing quickly. Industry, technology evolves so quickly. If we prepare you for technology today, you won't be prepared for tomorrow. So we're trying to train engineers who are able to think critically and meet the needs of the situations that come up that maybe they've never seen before. And we do want to give you the principles, whether that's principles of material properties, that's the mechanical principles that go along with making a machine, the statics or physics principles that go along with making structures, the dynamics and robotics principles, all of these different fields and industries that you might find yourself working in someday. We want to prepare you with the depth of understanding that makes you a quality engineer someday, and also comprehensive. That means we want to give you the breadth of topics that are going to help you with what you might face. We have physics. We have a wonderful core curriculum, and some of my colleagues are going to talk about that, which help you with leadership skills and English. And we also have the scientific principles like physics, chemistry, mechanics, statics, dynamics, robotics, material science, computing, circuits, and I'm missing a dozen other topics. So the degree programs that we offer, you can get a degree from AUIS here in mechanical, in civil, in artificial intelligence and robotics, and also in energy engineering. So those are the 4 degree programs that we have. And inside those degree programs, you have a lot of choices as to what kind of things you're going to emphasize along the way, whether that's mathematics, whether that's robotics, whether that's going to be the environment, a lot of choices about what you can emphasize. So that's a little bit of an overview of our department. I'll get out of the way. And I believe next, Dr. Adam, one of our esteemed civil engineering colleagues and faculty, is going to talk about himself and what AUIS has to offer for civil engineers and others. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nathan. Yes, hi everyone. My name is Aram Hassan. I am from Darbandi Khan originally. It's about an hour drive from here, from Suleimani. I have completed part of my secondary school in the UK, and then my undergraduate, my master's, my PhD from the University of Liverpool. And then I worked in the UK for a few years as a practicing engineer. As a matter of fact, I'm a chartered engineer in the UK. I came back to AUIS. I came back to Kurdistan and joined AUIS in 2016 because of a number of reasons. One of them was my brother was studying here, and I got to know the institution, how great this place was, the facilities, the type of supports that students were receiving. It came to my attention that this place is one of the best universities in the country. Therefore, I decided to come back and join the university, and hopefully I could nurture graduates that would be the future of our country at the same time as well, because the skills and knowledge that we have received in the West is important, that we could come back here and serve the communities and our people with. What really attracted me at AUIS as well was the diversity among students, faculty, and staff members. Like I said, the student support, the amount of support student receives at this university is incredible. Comparing my experience to what I see here is really progressive and it's quite outstanding. The facilities we have, like Dr. Nathan mentioned, from classrooms to laboratories, are really, really well equipped. And most of our faculty members are very well educated, coming from Ivy League universities in the West, in countries like the UK, US, Canada, and so on. And I really believe that you as a potential student, you should look into joining AUIS because of the same reasons that I have just been pointing them out. It's a place that you could succeed and with full of opportunities. This place provides scholarships to students with humble backgrounds. If you are financially not doing well, great. If you are doing well in your baccalaureate exams, then you could always apply for scholarships. There are a number of scholarships that you could apply to. Really, this place is all about how hard you work, and you get all the knowledge and training that you need from leading experts, I would say, in the country, because we've been given the opportunities and support that we need in order to transfer our skills and knowledge to our students. Really, that's all I could say about AUIS, but if you have any questions or anything that you would like to know more, then I would be more than happy to answer your questions like my colleagues and our students here. I believe next is Dr. Ali. So Dr. Ali, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Aram. Yeah, I am Dr. Ali Al-Wali. I am an assistant professor in the energy engineering and the engineering department. I am originally from the province of Wasat, and I have left the country over 20 years ago. I've lived all over the place. So I've lived in Libya for a while. I lived in the Sultanate of Oman and then Malaysia. So coming back to Iraq and coming back to Kurdistan in 2021 was almost like a full circle come through. I have a bachelor's degree in electrical and computer engineering from Sohar University and a PhD in renewable energy in the National University of Malaysia, where I specialized in solar energy. But enough about me, and let's talk about some of our majors. So we have 4 majors, as Dr. Nathan mentioned. This is the civil engineering, we have mechanical engineering, energy engineering, and also AI and robotics. And I just wanted to mention, why should you choose some of those majors? If you're interested in structures, concrete, if you look at these buildings and you think you want to be part of the process, and I'm not really qualified to talk about the civil side, but I could tell you, then this is the direction for you to go in. But in terms of mechanical, if you're interested in, let's say, heat exchangers, if you're interested in cars, if you're interested in any sort of system that has mechanical motion, whether it's rotary, whether it's linear mechanical motion, if you're interested in also a robotic element to it, heat transfer, how heat and the relationship between heat and thermodynamics and their contribution to our modern day heating and cooling applications, all the way from a very small CPU that you have to cool down to continue playing your video game, all the way to cooling down your car so you can drive it safely during the hot summers, then mechanical engineering would be the choice for you. Energy engineering is a different field though. With energy engineering, as you know, in today's world, there's more interest in renewable energy. And we already have a really good concrete system to deliver energy. However, there are some issues with this system, with the current fossil fuel based energy sector. And there is a bit of a transition that is happening, perhaps not 100% transition, but somewhat of a transition that is happening. And the country is interested in establishing renewable energy and sustainability based systems. Then energy engineering would be interesting for you. Perhaps that's your choice. With energy engineering, you find yourself in a multidisciplinary natured field and sector. Essentially, you'll find yourself working with thermodynamics, working with heat transfer as well, you're working with circuits, there is electrical energy, there is mechanical energy, there is heat energy, there is energy generation, it's distribution. If you look out from the window and you see the distribution lines, there is energy storage, such as the batteries that we have. And all of these fields are booming right now because energy is a major need for society. So that's energy engineering. And we need qualified people who are strictly prepared to deal with different energy systems, either in the fossil fuel side or in the renewable energy side, or the link between the two in hybrid systems and whatnot. And finally, artificial intelligence and robotics, which is our new major. And with this major, you have a chance to be pioneers in the entire country, right? You get to be pioneers in artificial intelligence and robotics together. And in this major, it's essentially an emergence between the concepts and the fundamentals of artificial intelligence and how can we have systems that are independent and that can serve humanity in addition to robotics. How can we have automation installed? And as we can look at our world today, we see that the world is shifting towards automation. So those are our four majors. We have many courses that are taught to engineers, general courses, general engineering courses, as Dr. Nathan mentioned. Some of these courses include engineering, computing, and numerical analysis, which I have been teaching since 2021, since I came to AOS. And with these courses, you really get to develop a really good core engineering principles and skills. Our students go through diverse assessments. It's not just about exams. We go through presentations. In some cases, we even go through debates. We go through project-based learning. Even since the very first year or very second year, you get to build projects and you get to actually do groundbreaking projects, relatively speaking and locally speaking. For example, last year we had University Day and our students were able to produce many interesting projects, such as the shaker table that was done by the civil engineering department, but also things like the solar powered car, and also the solar photovoltaic model with phase change material for cooling purposes, which was the first in Suleimani. So we have a lot of innovative activities. We have a lot of extracurricular activities. If you come to our school, you'd realize early on that we have many field trips. We just had a field trip in Dokkan. We had field trips in Darbandi Khan. We have field trips all over the city, but also throughout Kurdistan. And from that, I want to move on to our alumni. So enough about me, enough about the program. And now let's talk about the alumni. And I just wanted to share something with you here, which is some of our alumni that I'm really proud of. I think if you can see this, this is one of our alumni, engineer Lawand Anjam. He graduated in 2021, and he's currently working with Big Power Solar Energy Company. His position is a Solar Energy Department Assistant Manager, and I'm really proud of him. I'm proud of the work that he's doing. And so he's working within his field in engineering, and he's focused really on the renewable energy side. And we have also other students, such as Qabas Alani, and she graduated in 2022, and she chose to go through the academic side. She's working as a lab assistant, and she's working at AUB, American University of Iraq, Baghdad. And we also have another graduate, Ali Al-Qudsi, engineer Ali Al-Qudsi, who graduated in 2022, who is currently working for GE, so gas power GE for Nova, and his position is contractual services and leadership program. And I have countless examples like this from all of our graduates who went on to work in engineering-related jobs and also non-engineering related jobs, because our program gave them the skills and gave them the opportunity in order to work in diverse fields, because we provide them with diverse learning experiences. From there, I would like to move with our alumni, to start talking with our alumni. I think the next one to talk would be Ms. Banu Awad.
Well, I think if I may jump in, because I mean, that was a perfect transition. You boasted the quality of education by showing the results of the product, right? Our alumni and their success stories. So we do have student voices and we have the alumni voices, and we of course want to hear from them. Banu, are you the graduate or are you still a student?
I'm currently a senior student. I'm not graduate.
Okay, so good. So you
graduated,
have
Nate is an
2 weeks
alumni.
left,
She
right?
can talk. Yeah,
Sorry.
just like 2 weeks, 10 days, counting the days.
All right, so maybe if you could tell us a little bit about yourself, which of the engineering programs you majored in, why you chose that program, what has your experience been like, and what are you predicting to be a next step for you? You're almost done with your education at AUS. So if you could enlighten us and share a bit about yourself, we would definitely be very grateful.
Yeah, so it's been a very, like, I don't know what to say. It's a privilege being in this academic journey at AUIS because I chose civil engineering 4 years ago, and there hasn't been 1 second that I have been like said that I should change my major because of the programs they have given to us. There's a lot of opportunity, and we have elective classes in whatever other engineering departments you like. For example, as a last semester student, I like to learn more about heat transfer. So I chose an elective in transport phenomena, in which Dr. Ali is teaching me. It's a privilege for me to know more about other fields of engineering while studying civil engineering. And it has been, we have been having ups and downs as students, as engineering students, because there's a lot of math, a lot of physics, a lot of classes. But after you finish your exams and you've learned and achieved something, you feel very proud of yourself. I don't know how to explain that feeling, that euphoria that you get after finishing every class. And the labs that they have offered to us, such as engineering department, is a very good way to teach us. For example, laboratory classes for civil engineers, they taught us how to measure the strength of the concrete, the steel, the soil parts, in which it's practical. And as you go more practical as an engineering student, you get to learn the materials more, which is a good thing that we've had. As a civil engineer student, I really encourage anyone who is interested in building anything, building dams, building buildings, like actual buildings and constructions, or any house, they'll be able to do it. Like, it's not an easy process. You can't get it through 1 or 2 years of studying it, but like as you get older and as you get more semesters in, you know what you're doing. And another thing about the US is that they've taught me is that the opportunities that you have. For example, as a civil engineer, I wanted to minor in management. Like when I go in 2 weeks, I go to a job interview, I would say that I have a minor in management, in which I can manage a project through business side and the engineering side of it, in which I think it's an opportunity that not every university actually can give it to you. So that's my experience so far, and I have never like felt bad about choosing my major.
Thank you. And it sounds like you know where you're headed. You've combined your major and minor, so that's a great strategic planning on your side. So we wish you all the best in those last weeks as you're finishing up your journey. And of course, I'm sure Dr. Ali will be looking to your success story so he can add you to his PowerPoint of all the alumni success stories. Yes.
I hope so. I hope so.
We wish you all the best. Diari, what's your story? Let's talk about you. Let's get to know you and your journey at AUIS.
Hello, how you doing? My name is Diari Ahmed. So I'm really glad to be part of this webinar today. So as Dr. Nathan, I'm in one of the amazing labs here at AUIS. So back there we have the tensile and the compressive the test machine, and over there we have the hardness machine, which we test the hardness of the surface of the material we have. So I'm originally from Suleimani. Here since 2020. As a petrol head, I chose to study mechanical engineering because I'm really into cars. I really would love to like be a part of the industry. So as Banu mentioned, so we have the chance to study minor as well with the major we have. So for me, I chose to study mathematics as a minor. So one thing that's really differentiated AUIS with the other universities is that we not only became engineers, we also became mathematicians. We can basically work in any other field except for the engineering that we have. So right now I'm a senior here for the mechanical engineering department. I'm minoring mathematics. I'm the president of the automotive club, and I'm a teaching assistant internship for the engineering department. So AUIS gives you the best opportunity you can ever had, like unbelievably. And from what I saw from doing the teaching assistant, from the new student that we have, it's that the amount of project they do in the first semesters. Like, I hope everyone who joining this webinar or seeing this webinar will join us on Uniday, and we'll see the amazing project we have for Uniday ready. So Dr. Ali is teaching fabrication shop, and I think many of the students are doing a really absolute amazing job for the projects we have. And as Dr. Ali mentioned, we do a lot of field trips that's really amazing at connecting the theoretical, and we can see what we learn in practice. So I have a class that's called Turbo Machinery, where we learn about how turbines work and how pumps work, which is taught by Dr. Kifar. So it was really amazing that we went to the Dukan Dam and we saw the Francis turbine, how it works, how like the water comes from the dam and pushes the turbine and we get electricity from it. It was really something unbelievable. And as I mentioned, I'm also the president of the automotive club. So AUS also supporting the club, so where we can have our events and we can connect about some stuff that we learned theoretically from the classes and show to the other students around campus who are not majoring in engineering, for example. And another thing that's really amazing that happened to me as a student here at AUS, we have to take an internship class, which should be in one of the factories, so any place here at Suli. So for me, I chose one of the factories here in Bazian. What I noticed that the management skill that we learn here from the project management classes is really amazing. It really helped me to do a project proposal for the company and a suggestion letter. And funny enough, on the notice break, me and Dr. Nathan went to the factory, so we gave them a visit, and I saw that they implemented the suggestion that I did for them, which was using walkie-talkies between the supervisors of each department with the forklift drivers. It was really a very proud moment for me. I was really happy to see that. It was really amazing. It's all thanks for the amazing class and what we get taught from the engineering department.
Thank you. That's an amazing achievement on your part. You should definitely be extremely proud of yourself. Well, and if the company is strategic enough, they should be grabbing you before some other company gets you after graduation.
They did offer me, but I still got one more semester here, so.
Okay, well, good, good. So like that's exactly what we're talking, that students are already showing their skills already at the internships. Thank you, Diari. And of course, I
Thank you very
mean,
much.
you're also close to finishing up, so all the best in your final month. And then let's move to the actual alumni who graduated a year ago, right? I think both of you, right? Or 2 years ago, and then you've been out in the real world, right? You've seen what it's like. So, Naivan, maybe let's start with you, where you can introduce yourself, what you studied, and your reflections on how a UIS degree program has prepared you for your career. What have you been doing? Where have you been applying the things you learned in the classes here? Welcome.
Thank you. I'm Naivan. I graduated from mechanical engineering with a minor in English literature. So I'm very glad that my colleagues brought up the topic of minors. I'm also a member of the Alumni Association Board, which is something that AUS does to keep alumni in touch. It's something that all of us are actually very excited about annually to attend alumni reunions and stuff like that. Something I wanted to talk about was in the job market, AUS alumni have a different sort of reputation. They're very wanted in the job market. And if you have a degree from AUS, you're automatically placed higher on the waiting lists and applications and stuff like that. Me personally, I haven't gotten back into engineering yet ever since graduation, but I hope to pursue the path of engineering, especially material science, which is something that Dr. Nathan has been one of the main inspirations for. And I think what I want to say to high school graduates that are planning to come to AUS that everyone else hasn't said yet is an image of uni that most people have is that it's just lectures. It's just going to class, taking tests, and coming out. But that is totally not the case, especially in the engineering department. Off the top of my head, I can remember exams with Dr. Nathan where we just had to go around the class and identify materials. I can remember him breaking glass inside of the classroom. with Dr. Ali's class, I can remember him blowing up a circuit. With Dr. Adam, the first class I took with him was drawing. And it's all very fun classes, especially if you're interested in the major yourself. It's stuff that you can experiment with, you can sort of put your own personality into. It's never just boring lectures, it's never just boring equations you have to memorize and go into an exam for. Another thing that I wanted to say that my colleague Diari also mentioned is working opportunities within your uni career, like the student learning program or volunteering. I worked as, what did I work at? I worked as Dr. Adams' teaching assistant, and I also worked as a lab assistant within the engineering department. But other than that, you can participate in clubs, you can work in other departments such as the library and the communications department. There are a lot of opportunities that you can do. You can volunteer for all sorts of events that take place on campus, such as TEDx and Suliform, things like that. So it's a very dynamic sort of uni experience, and the field itself is very multidisciplinary. So you can never be bored, is what I was trying to say. Thank you. That's all I have. I'll pass the mic over to Karam to share his experience.
Yeah, thank you, Karam. Your turn.
Yeah, hello everyone, and thank you all for allowing me the opportunity to share my experience at the UIS in this webinar. My name is Karam Rubel, and I'm a graduate of the engineering department at the UIS. I graduated in 2023 with a Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering. And after that, I started working at the university with the Institute of Regional and International Studies, IRIS. Currently, I work as a research associate, focusing on environmental and water policy research. So as a UIS alumnus, let me share with you a few highlight points about why I think the engineering department here is an excellent degree to pursue. First point is the community at the UIS. By joining a UIS, you join a unique environment with a really vibrant and diverse community. You'll see students and faculty from all over the country, from all over the world. And of course, with the English language being the primary language at campus, you'll really find it smooth to interact and, with everyone here. And also the engineering department has wonderful faculty members who will always be happy to assist you in your academic journey. They will not spare any effort in that. Second point is the educational system. So the American style educational system at the UIS it really provides a transformative experience. Like during the first semesters of your studying in the undergraduate program, you take liberal arts courses as well as STEM courses. So you take courses like in social science, in literature, in humanities. These will give you leadership and teamwork skills that really are desirable in the job market. And the STEM courses, of course, give you the necessary technical knowledge that you can take further into your careers or postgraduate studies. So this interdisciplinary model allows you to unpack your potential, discover your skills, your talents, and really find the niche for you. Third point is the career opportunities. So when you study at the UIS, you'll be offered a wide range of internships, exchange programs, volunteering opportunities that are offered in every semester. So I'll give you a short story about myself. I discovered my passion for the environment when during my major design, senior design project, which was designing and building the first solar car in Kurdistan. So after that, I also took an internship with IRIS on policy research. And after that, by the time I graduated, I combined the knowledge I got from the engineering program with the experience I got from the extracurricular activities at IRIS and other centers to really find and pivot to a career path that I found works best for me. I think this flexibility is kind of one of the unique things you can find at AUIS, perhaps more than anywhere else. So just to wrap up, I think choosing to study engineering at AUIS is an adventure you'll not regret. I think employers will always look at you as a highly skilled graduate with qualifications such as English language, leadership skills, and state-of-the-art technical knowledge. So as the AUIS motto says, learn today and lead tomorrow here.
Thank you. Wow, like you wrapped it up so well at the end, but it's so nice to hear that, you know, that when you speak about finding your passion and your interest, and that's the path that you went on, I think everyone could be jealous of that, right? It's just like knowing what you want to do and pursuing that. But I would actually like to give the question maybe to any of the faculty members. Maybe one of you will want to jump in. Like, I know that engineering is on the mind of many students here, and sometimes that's societal pressure, parent pressure that engineering is the program to go. And many students don't necessarily know what they want to study. I think Dr. Ali, you very much well summarized like which program is for what type of people in terms of based on their interest. But maybe Dr. Nathan, as the program head, if you were to think about an ideal student who should be choosing engineering, so what kind of a person would that be? What should their interest be in high school? Or, you know, what should they be good in so that they truly know that they are choosing the right field and where they will be, you know, they can be their best at? And maybe that's a wrong question to ask, but
no, that's a great question. That's actually a perfect question. I want to answer that, but first I do want to thank this group of panelists. We are very proud of Nevan, and we're very proud of Karim for what they've done. Even though it's been a very short time since they've graduated, they both got very engaged and have been making some meaningful experiences and meaningful differences where they are. As well, Banu and Diari, these two are making themselves very busy trying to make some projects in addition to their classes. They're exceptional students, but they're also working on multiple projects to hone their skills and to be able to share interesting outcomes of their learning with students. I know I think Banu is working on several different designs of bridges, and she might also be involved in the earthquake simulation device that we have. I know Diari has actually made several iterations of a gearbox, and I think he's got a life goal of perfecting the best gearbox, and he's making his way there quickly. So we're very proud of them. As you can see, we've also got some students working on projects here in the room where I am, going back and forth, trying to get stuff ready and make components and 3D print and fit up devices and assemblies for University Today. So as who was it? I think Diadi mentioned we've got University Today coming up on May 9th, and we're looking forward to that. There's a lot of hubbub of activity, a lot of buzz, trying to everybody's having fun, but it's that stressed kind of fun. Like, we know there's a deadline, we know this is a huge challenge, but we're gonna try to do it and meet the challenge. I know Nevan is also helping, so I really appreciate the volunteer hours and hours that she's putting in as well to try to help the department, and many other people are involved. So the question was, what is the right kind of student to, as they analyze themselves, maybe a student in high school, looking at what kind of degree they should go for? And that is a very big and challenging decision. I do not want to minimize that. I remember that decision. It was very difficult. I would say one word to characterize someone who should consider engineering is curiosity. Curiosity. So if you're the kind of person that looks at a bridge and wonders, well, how is it holding all those vehicles? Or you look at a watch and wonder, how is this working? Or if you're baffled by a cell phone and you want to try to take it apart and figure it out, how different parts of the cell phone work, or robotics, or like Yadi mentioned, a gearhead or a petrol head. If you're interested in trying to figure out how things work, how things are made, engineering might be for you. I do want to emphasize, though, along with curiosity, we would like to build off of a strong mathematical basis. So if you have a lot of curiosity but no interest in mathematics, then you might want to double check yourself on your interest in engineering. We start the engineering program, students begin in pre-calculus. So we need students to make sure, and if you're a freshman or a sophomore or a junior, so first year, second year, third year in high school, you still have time to prepare yourself. Be preparing yourself with that mathematical basis, because we can't understand the way things work and the principles that guide and constrain our engineering efforts unless we can understand those relationships mathematically. So I would emphasize, yes, foster that curiosity. Do your science experiments at home. Get involved in your local community and trying to help people fix their cars, and trying to help your parents fix the washing machine or the whatever, or install a solar panel at home. All of these fun things that you can do. Yes, work on that curiosity. But I would say that probably the difference between a technician and an engineer is the mathematical fundamentals. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being a technician, just like there's nothing wrong with being a lawyer or a doctor or a history major or a social science, all of these other highly esteemed majors that we have here at AUIS. But the two things that I said, to summarize, is keep fostering your curiosity and build up your foundation in mathematics. That's going to help you prepare to be a good engineer at AUIS or anywhere else.
Thank you. Thank you. That's actually very, very helpful to know. But I also do want to remind our audience that AUIS educational model also offers the flexibility that in the very first year, actually in the very first 3 semesters, students do have that flexibility of changing the major. If you take the intro classes and you finally figure out that, oh, I ended up not where I belong and I'm passionate about something else, well, that's, I think you heard from many of our students about the minors. That's one possibility of exploring other programs, or you can change a major. And I'm sure maybe I would want to put actually either Dr. Aram or Dr. Ali on the stand, whether you do get lots of students who maybe come to engineering because they've taken some classes and they finally figure that they can do this, or the opposite, maybe like the advantage of testing one's skills and also the advantage of doing the minors, because I'm sure some other major students can also be choosing minors in engineering, right? No? Okay. So Dr. Aram or Dr. Ali, please.
Yeah, right. If I may, absolutely. We had students that were changing majors. We had students from medical laboratory science. They were switching to engineering and vice versa. So there's that flexibility here at AUIS that if you decide after you've taken a semester or so that this is not the right major, you could also switch easily. But at the same time, I think we may have forgotten about something as well for those students who are interested to study further in terms of going to postgraduate schools. Our graduates have done really excellent in that area. I have had students, they have been accepted in the US, in the UK, in Poland, in Germany, in Lebanon, in so many other countries. If you could pass the degree courses, everything, or even okay, not with a very, very high GPA, you still have really good chances to go to postgraduate schools. And as a matter of fact, now I have got some students that they have completed their masters and they're working in really great projects. One of my graduate students is working for a company. They are building the next high-speed railway in the UK, and the project costs like 200 billion US. And as part of that great project, this is something we are very proud of, that we can produce graduates that they have the caliber to go to postgraduate schools, succeed, and find great jobs, you know, in those developed countries. So yeah, that's something from me. I don't know, maybe Dr. Ali has got something else to add.
Yeah, I totally agree with Dr. Aram. Our students are really having an advantage when applying for scholarships, when they're applying for their postgraduate studies. We've had experiences with students who went on to do their masters, their PhD students. I think now I have a student who is applying for a PhD as well. So yeah, our programs help them, especially when they apply to Western countries, because of it's a liberal arts school that we have here, and because of the diversity of courses that we provide. In terms of the flexibility, yes, up to a certain point, there's a certain flexibility that we have where students can come in and discover their skills, discover whether that this program fits within their future goals or their future, perhaps, employment opportunities and whatnot. And we even have students who are perhaps not interested to work in engineering majors, but want to have that engineering pedigree, like those core courses that can really propel them in other disciplines. I would also add to what Dr. Nathan said, which I also agree with what he said regarding you know, who should take engineering and how they make this decision. One thing I've learned early on was that people who like engineering tend to be people who like things. So there's people who like things and there's people who like people or interested in people. And people who are interested in people, generally speaking, go to social sciences and go to the medical fields. And people who like things, who like Legos, I'm sure a lot of our viewers right now, they probably played with Legos. They probably played with Minecraft or other video games. They probably played with cars growing up. For me, one of the cool things that I got to watch was the Iron Man movies, where I could see the Iron Man wear the helmet and see this really cool robotic structure formulate itself as a superhero. And there's this aspect of continuous development. I really think that people who gravitate towards things end up choosing to go along the engineering side. Now, yes, they do need to have mathematical, here you can see they need to have a good mathematical background, and we also offer our math and science, the math and science department is offering mathematical courses, but there's also strict engineering courses that also incorporate lots of math as well. But engineering is essentially an applied science. So we have the sciences, the base sciences of math, physics, chemistry. And engineering really is just utilizes these sciences in order to solve a problem. And engineers do that in order to solve everyday problems that we face as a society. Some are international problems and some are local. Local problems, there could be something in your city, there could be something in your province, something in your side of town that you want to solve, that you want to get done. And you feel like you can actually contribute to the local community, either on a local basis or even nationally. Well, you can't really enter there unless you have those skills. And we offer training and we offer preparation for people to acquire those skills. And the hope is that by the time you graduate, you have enough of an arsenal of engineering skills, engineering tools, and that sort of engineering mindset that allows you to work with either things and perhaps even people to some extent.
Thank you. Thank you. This is like a perfect career shaping webinar where we do help students to discover what strengths and interests they need to have. However, there is a question from one of our guests, and the question is about the grades and the marks in order to be accepted in the engineering department. I know we have the eligibility criteria requirements listed on our admissions page, and based on the last, but those are being set by the ministry, right? And depending on which program, so it starts from 72% and up. But I don't know if any of our faculty members would still have anything to add. Should a person have a certain grade in high school that would already indicate that they are good, you know, and leaning more in that direction, or it's all kind of going back to the same things that Dr. Nathan said. It's of course that mathematical mindset, curiosity, and then of course the results in examinations. Nathan, you would like to add?
Let me comment on that. The grades, the marks, that is very important. We need students who meet the minimum grades, and we would love to have students who are exceptional. Of course, we're not going to say every student coming into engineering has to be exceptional. That's okay. Let me tell you my personal story. I mentioned how important the mathematics is, but I myself, when I was working my undergraduate degree in Calculus 1, Calculus 2, Calculus 3, and differential equations, I visited the tutor room very often to survive and understand the principles in those classes. So I believe our system here at AUIS it's not just a system suited to geniuses. We have a math and science center that will provide tutors. What I believe we have here at AUIS is a system that rewards the hard worker. So you may not be the top math student at your high school. You may not have the top math scores, but if you are committed to working through the examples, the homework problems, going to the tutor room, getting the help that you need, asking the instructor for help from time to time, then I think you'll succeed. I believe that Ms. Banu also would like to contribute to that question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so as in high school, I was not very, very good at math, but as I got to grade 12, I studied more often for math. But then AUIS has an opportunity for every student that there's office hours, there's not a lot of universities who have office hours. So during their office hour times, the time slot, each professor has a time slot for you so that you can meet them and ask them questions regarding the classes and regarding everything else in the academic life. So for instance, I had to go to Dr. Mazen, who's a professor in the math and sciences classes department, for teaching me more often about differential equations and calculus 3. So there's this opportunity for students who can negotiate and come up with the professors during office hours, in which I believe not every student, not every university has that privilege for students.
Thank you for adding that, because that's exactly the personal story. Because sometimes, you know, it's also about when students mature, and sometimes, you know, math might be difficult in high school because you study everything. But then when you come to the program where you are excited, you get the focus, you have the faculty that will help you and all the other assistants. So sometimes, yes, like you just need to you would have more time to be getting into all of those stories, because truly it's spectacular to hear from the faculty members, but also from the students and alumni, because you are the proof of what the program is about and how it skills you. But as the last round, I want to, and many of the things have already been said, but I want to kind of make sure we have a summary statement. So the last question for each one of you, but you will only be able to say one thing. So the question is, like, there are many of the universities offering engineering programs, right? But there is only one American University of Iraq, Suleimani. And today we heard lots of benefits of our program. So then for the final question is, why engineering at AUIS? So one top reason that you would want to highlight, and I'm sure if somebody says your reason, you can come up with another one. So why engineering at AUIS? Dr. Nathan?
I'll go last so that I have the hardest position. I'll let
Okay,
everyone else
good.
go
Let's
first.
start with our youngest participants, with the seniors. Banu, let's start with you.
No, Jerry, let's start. Jerry, start.
Okay, I would say one of the reasons to study at AUS is the huge amount, like we have one of the best laboratory for the engineering department. So we have the fluids lab, we have the 3D printed lab, circuits lab, the fabrication shop, and another for the civil engineering, like for the civil department. I would say we have one of the best equipments. Like we get the chance to use every one of them, to get familiar with them, how to use them in a safe way, not to cut ourselves, hurt ourselves in any way. I think that would be one of the best reasons to get and study engineering here. To get
Thank you.
familiar with all the machines.
Although we did hear about blowing up of windows and some other things, but you did mention that it's all being done very safe. Thank you. So it's labs. Banu, what's your why AUIS?
I would say it's the American system way of teaching and learning, because as a student, you get the privilege to choose any class you want during any semester, but you still have to have the prerequisites. So the American system style suited me more because I came from an American school system. So I choose American system for my university too, because I was used to that liberal arts kind of classes in which I feel comfortable in.
Thank you. Thank you. Very good. Naivan?
Okay, for the record, let me just say that the booms and crashes that happened were all under controlled environments. They were on purpose. And something I would say about AUIS that is unique is how interdisciplinary it is. I know we already talked about that, but if you're an indecisive person, you're gonna love not having to choose your major until the end of your 4th semester.
Thank you. Karam?
Yeah, well, I think these liberal arts courses really the leadership skills you get, the teamwork skills really would kind of transform your mindset, would set you, would like open your eyes to new perspectives, would help you see the world from a new lens, and will really you will take it with you into your career, definitely.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Dr. Ali, your turn.
I would say project-based learning. Project-based learning. We do so many projects. We're in there when they're at the fabrication shop early on, when they start their journey, and even when they end their journey with Design 1 and Design 2. We do amazing projects all across the board, and we display them. We don't have to hide them. We display them in University Day. We display them in events, and students are getting in. They're hands-on. They get to actually build stuff. We're building a lot of amazing things for this year's University Day, to plug that in one more time. And I think that project-based learning is very essential. Yes, there is the design, there is the theory, and we really care about the theory and the design, but it's not just theory and design. There is project-based learning as well.
Thank you. Wonderful. Dr. Aram?
Well, I would say maybe the strengths of the faculty members. Thank you so much, all our alumni and students, for remembering us. This is a joke, by the way. But, I think we have a group that are experts in the area of in the area that they are teaching. For example, we have faculty members, they publish enormously, nonstop. We have had many undergraduate students, they have managed to publish journal papers, which is a massive achievement. So the strength of the faculty members that we have here is very wide and very strong. And I believe that is something we should be proud of as well at the same time.
Absolutely. And just seeing even how the students and you guys, the faculty, are kind of there is that bond between you that I feel even during the webinar. So it seems like you are all in one gang, you know, kind of like the friendships, the bonds. So that's amazing to see. And it does come across through the webinar. So absolutely, I'm so glad that the faculty got mentioned. Well, and the last concluding statement and the last reason to the department chair, Dr. Nathan.
Yeah, I completely agree with everything that's been mentioned, but I do want to bring something new to the table, and that's respect. When you come to AUIS as a student, what we hope to provide you is the acknowledgement and respect that you're a real human being, and that we want to listen to your thoughts. We want to adapt as much as possible the learning environment to something that suits you well. At the same time, we are going to challenge you immensely. And we want to be right there alongside you as faculty, full of respect for you as a human being and for the future that you want to create for yourself. And I think the engineering department, we bring to the table a respect for our students that we see, like Dr. Ali pointed out, some of the alumni and what they've become. We see that you're going to be a very essential and important and contributive member of society someday. And we respect that. We want to help you step into that future, that whether it's directly in engineering or you're using your engineering principles in another field, we want to help you enter the best future for yourself.
Thank you. Thank you so much to each one of you. It truly is amazing to hear and to feel your passion to the field, to the program, to also see the connection between faculty and students, and to thank you for all the encouragement that you've given to our audience today. I do want to remind the audience that the University Day is coming up. It did come up several times in our webinar. The University Day will be hosted at AUS next Thursday, so exactly a week from today, from 12 to 6 p.m. And this is where you can come and meet this crowd, meet these participants, these faculty members, the students, and see what adventures you can have on that day with them, which experiments you get to lay your hands on. So thank you again for everyone for watching us. I know we went a bit over time, but I think the stories and the facts were truly very educational. I will remind everyone that we will again resume our webinars on Sunday, and we'll have the spotlight on our business department. And in the meantime, I want to wish everyone a nice evening and a wonderful and restful weekend. Thank you once again, and bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Ms. Heisen.